Good evening all of you. As I can see, the link has been shared. So we are going to start with this topic about Ben Adam. Though we have already discussed this poem, but there are certain important points which needs to be highlighted. So for that I want you people to good evening. I want you people to keep your notebooks and pen ready. Okay, central idea. First of all, put a heading: central idea of Abou Ben Adam. This is a very important poem. हेडिंग लिखिए सब लोग, सेंट्रल आइडिया ऑफ अबाउ बिन एडम. अबाउ बिन एडम इज अ parable in verse. Parable means a poem or a short story which has a moral. Okay, so Abou bin Adam is a parable. Now listen, what is the intention of keeping this class? This is just because of making you people aware that how to fetch good marks, better marks, or how to be the best. Okay, as you can see the copies of the toppers on Google, you will find out that how the toppers write the answers. Okay, how they start writing the answers, how they introduce the characters or the story, in which way. So writing an answer is just like an art. So that is what I want you people to be aware enough, that how to write the answers, how to make it more appropriate, how to make it more you know attractive, and with the usage of important points and keywords. So whenever the central idea is being asked, you have to write Abou Ben Adam is a parable. Parable here is a keyword. Important point. Parable means, so I want you people, those who have just joined right now, let me tell you that keep your notebooks and pen ready. Abou Ben Adam is a parable in verse. Okay, parable means a short story or a poem that conveys a moral by Leigh Hunt, that revolves around propagating goodness in people. Okay, so the main central idea of this poem is highlighting the goodness in people. The poet tries to highlight the idea that to love people is to love God. It's a simple saying we must have been listening since our childhood, that you spread humanity, you spread love and gratitude to others. It means that you are spreading love and gratitude to God. Okay, so showing love to the people means showing love to God Himself. And if you have sympathy and love for your fellow men, then God will shower you with His love as well. So this is the main theme. It is only when you love your fellow men you become worthy of being loved by God. As in this poem we have already come to know that Abou Ben Adam, who was a very kind-hearted, generous person who loves the humanity, okay, who loves the humanity, showers his love and gratitude to the people. Ultimately what happens in the next part of the poem, we come to know that his name is mentioned on the very top of the list. So this is what the central idea of the poem. Good evening all of you. So those who have joined right now, Shingarika and Ayush, I can see, please keep your notebook and pen ready. We are going to discuss important points regarding this poem. And I remember that last time also, Shingarika, you mentioned that we need to do the revision of this poem. So that's why today I have selected this poem. Though we have discussed the stanzas of this poem, but today we are going to discuss few more important points which can be beneficial for you if you use it in your exam. That will fetch you more marks. So it is only when you love your fellow men you become worthy of being loved by God. This poem Abou Ben Adam by Leigh Hunt embodies the idea love thy neighbor as yourself. So this line, as you can see on the screen, love thy neighbor as yourself. This line you will also get in the Holy Bible, where the God says in 10 commandments that love thy neighbor as thyself. जैसे आप अपने से प्यार करते हो वैसे ही आप अपने पड़ोस के लोगों से. Means not the neighbor here means to everyone, because in the eyes of God every human being is same, and loving the human being, helping the human being, caring a human being means showing love and gratitude to God. So these are the essential points, and the last line, which is quoted in the double inverted, you can use it in the central idea. So that is what I was telling you, that this is the art. When you see the answer scripts of the toppers on Google, you will find that how the toppers who secure 99, 98, even 100 sometimes, okay, you will find out that how they write the answers, how they start writing the answers, what all points they include in the answers in order to fetch more marks. So this was a central idea. I hope that you must have written. Have all noted down? Yes or no? Please acknowledge, please respond. Have you people noted down? Okay. Now let's talk about the tone of Abou and Adhem. The poem Abou and Adhem by Leigh Hunt is invested with a spiritual and humanistic tone. Now these again are the crucial important keywords. You can note it down. You can use these words while writing the answers, whether the answer is related to central idea or the theme. You can mention these points. The poem Abou and Adhem by Leigh Hunt is invested with a spiritual and humanistic tone. So the tone of the poem is spiritual and it is humanistic. Humanistic means considered about the human beings. It promotes a positive outlook on life by emphasizing values like helping fellow men in need and spreading joy and happiness. The first stanza reveals Abou's encounter with the angel, and the second stanza gives the message that God loves those who love their fellow men and spread feelings of unity and brotherhood rather than evilness and cruelty. So this is the way of writing an answer. Whenever the theme comes, tone is just like a theme. Okay, if the question comes that what is the tone of the poem, it can be related as a theme. Tone of the poem or the theme of the poem means the same. So you can start writing like this. The poem Abou and Adhem by Leigh Hunt is invested with a spiritual and humanistic tone. First of all, it promotes a positive outlook. It promotes a positive outlook on life by emphasizing values like helping fellow men in need and spreading joy. It promotes our positive outlook on life by emphasizing values like helping fellow men in need and spreading of joy. Wait a second. Give me a minute. I'm just putting that screen back. Yes, this is a quite good version of that. So those points you have mentioned, you can add these points which you can see on the screen right now. Coming on to the third line. Third line, you can see compassion and empathy are presented as the true principles of religion. Compassion means a soft-hearted, a kind, showing kindness to the others is known as compassion. Empathy means trying to feel the pain and the sufferings of the other people, okay, in order to help them, are presented as the true principles of any religion. Above the need to pay lip service to a jealous or attention-hungry God, in fact, the Lord in the poem is so approving of Abou Ben Adhem's commitment to his fellow men that it is Ben Adhem who becomes the most blessed in the end, and not those who focus their efforts in demonstrating their love for God. You can see in the practical world that there are so many people that try to flaunt, and they just try to make the God happy in doing various other things by doing the charity, okay, and when they do the charity they click their photographs and post it on the media. So these are the things which the people do and what they think that by doing all these kind of things God is going to bless, but actually not. This poem gives a clear cut idea that religion is not something about showing off. Okay, religion is something that what you are doing to the people, what you are doing for the people, for the humanity, by your heart. That is what, and that is what Abou Ben Adhem does. Okay, that is why he is considered as the most blessed in the end, and not those who have focused their efforts in demonstrating their love for God. The poem ultimately argues that love of humankind is love of God. If you love humanity, okay, it means that you are loving God, because people are God's creation. In essence, the poem is saying that anyone who claims to love God without putting into practice first through a love for the fellow human beings doesn't really love God at all. Okay, just by showing different kind of things, okay, just by flaunting, just by um, creating a group, okay, or chanting hymns to the God, it doesn't mean. The main objective, the main thing that is related in worshipping to God is a person should have a clear and kind heart. If the person has gratitude towards the humanity, if the person shows love toward the humanity, then it means that he is showing his love directly to God. This is what the central idea or the theme or the tone, you can say, of this poem Abou Ben Adhem. The angel's two separate visits of Abou Ben Adhem presents two different religious perspectives. Now this is very important, please note it down. The angel's two separate visits to Ben Adhem present two different religious perspectives, drawing a distinction between love of other people and what the poem suggests is a more superficial love of God. The first visit wakes Ben Adhem from a deep dream of peace. Okay. The angel's two separate visits to Abou Ben Adhem presents two different religious perspectives. दो religion perspective show किए गए हैं, drawing a distinction between love of the other people and what the poem suggests is a more superficial love of God. The first visit wakes Ben Adhem from a deep dream of peace. The hints to the readers that there is something fundamentally right about Ben Adhem's worldview. After all, there are no moral dilemmas. Dilemmas means confusions or anxiety keeping him up at the night. The wish in the first line that his tribe may increase also suggests that this is a man worth emulating, means worth considerable. In other words, the world could use more men like Ben Adhem. So this is a different perspective of religion. In the first stanza and of the poem, we discussed that Abou bin Adam, when he woke up, when he saw the angel, he asked that your name is not mentioned. What to do? He did not retaliate at that time. Okay, he did not retaliate at that time, but instead of that, he kept his cool. He was calm. He was kind-hearted. He did not had an argument with the angel. Simply he said that okay, I am a good man, kind-hearted man. I have shown a gratitude and love to the humanity. But in case if you put my name on that list, I would be very thankful. Okay, so ultimately in the second stanza we come to know that the angel has put his name on the very first top of that golden book. Okay, this much have you people understood? Yes or no? Are you writing down these points? सब लोग points लिख रहे हैं कि नहीं? Are you people jotting down the points? Yes or no? Please acknowledge. What about Kritika, Shringarika and others? Okay, after that it says, yet Ben Adam isn't on the angels first list, which records the names of those who love God. Okay, then this we know that a man filled with such exceeding peace. Exceeding peace here is an important word. It's a key point. You can use this word while writing your answers. Would be missing suggests that there is something off about this list itself, and the fact that this list is printed in a book of gold, a flashy and expensive material, further hence it is a superficial nature. There is a gentle suggestion that these are people who act out of self-interest and self-preservation, and, in contrast to Ben Adam, focus their faith on flattering a high power. The poem implies by its end that this book is shiny ledger filled with people who were very concerned with looking like they love God. Please note down all these points. Whenever you write the answers, you can mention a book of gold. With a hyphen, you can write a flashy and expensive material. Again, you can highlight it also. So by highlighting and by writing all these things, you will have more chances in the board examination to fetch more marks. That is why when Ben Adam learns from the angel that he is not down as one of those who love the Lord, he doesn't grow worried or panic, as I told you and as we discussed also that day. When Abou Ben Adam came to know that his name did not appear in the book, he did not grow panic. He was not at all worried. In fact, his response comes to him readily. Instead, he wants to be recorded as one that loves his fellow men. Simply, he said that I think that there is some kind of a mistake. He must have thought like that. He must have thought that there is some kind of mistake that my name is not mentioned. Though he was very much surprised, shocked, but he did not retaliate, he did not argue. That was the kindness that the poet Leigh Hunt wants us to show regarding that kind-hearted person Abou Ben Adam, that he did not react. But instead, he said that please mention my name because I am the one who loves God. Ben Adam knows that because God created human beings, loving of God isn't meaningful without also loving other people. The poem then can be seen as a kind of test. अब यहाँ पर एक टेस्ट भी दिखाई दिया जाता है. Instead of begging to have his love for God officially acknowledged and confirmed, Ben Adam chooses instead to demonstrate love of his life is like a love of God by prioritizing his love for humanity. Now here it was a kind of a test.